welcome the Chancellor, Ms. Nonkululeko Nyembezi, the Chairperson of Council in absentia, Mr. Wiseman Madinani, members of the DUT Council who are present this evening, our Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Thandwa Mthembu, our guest of honor, Dr Nokugcine E Mhlophe, together with her family and friends, trustees from the DUT Foundation, executive and senior management of the university, Ms. Nompumelelo Madonda, representing the Office of the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Eric Appelgren from the eThekwini Municipality, Consul Generals and Honorary Consuls representing the governments and people of Finland, Indonesia, the People's Republic of China, and the Seychelles, together with members from the Diplomatic Corps, the family of the late Mr. Emal Sultan, one of the founders of our university. We are privileged this evening to have the third, fourth, and fifth generation Sultan families who still support our university all these years later. So they're most welcome. Together with members of the DUT Convocation, the President and members of our Student Representative Council and Student Parliament, leaders from the DUT Institutional Forum, Gender Forum, and our Labor Consultative Forum, and to each one of you, our honored guests. All protocol is observed. Let me take this opportunity to say Sanibonani, good evening, and welcome to the DUT 2024 Autumn Graduation Gala Dinner as we celebrate DUT excellence and our adaptive graduates. My name's Alan Khan, and I'm proud to be your program director this evening. We have a real short series of formalities, and then of course our main attraction, apart from the entertainment, is going to be the food. After a wonderful autumn season of graduation events, we're looking forward to celebrating in style. We also assemble this evening, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the newest member of the DUT family, Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe. Congratulations, Dr. Mhlophe, on being awarded an honorary doctorate from DUT, and I think we can give her a round of applause. For those who witnessed the ceremony this morning, she was dynamic on stage. The Vice-Chancellor and I, and we've been really working extremely hard, Professor Mthembu, in trying to have dignity and decorum and convincing our graduates that it's a graduation stage and they should walk gracefully, they should accept the conferment of the degree or the awarding of the diploma and then quietly and gracefully walk off stage. So this morning, we had a wonderful speech by Dr. Mhlophe, which then violated most of what the Vice-Chancellor and I were trying to do for the last 2 weeks, because she broke into song, she broke into dance, she got the entire congregation singing and clapping. But we allowed her to do it because she's a national treasure and a real asset. But it was really a privilege to see Gina Mhlophe in action. Madam Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, to commence with the formalities this evening, I'd like to invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Engagement, Professor Nemavola, to deliver the official welcome and opening remarks on behalf of the university. Professor Nemavola. You can give Prof a round of applause. Let's encourage him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, for the opportunity. Chancellor, Ms. Nyembezi, Vice-Chancellor and Principal Thandwa Mthembu, DUT Council leadership, honored guest, Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, Council Generals, honorary consuls, family of the late Mr. M.L. Sultan, family and friends of Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, DUT senior management and executive management, labor, gender and student representatives, academic representatives, Office of the Premier in KZN, our donors, special guests, students, and friends of the Durban University of Technology, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. I thought you were going to respond. So recently, a dear friend and a colleague attended a similar event here in South Africa. But what was seemingly very shocking to both of us was that it took exactly 2 hours for the Vice Chancellor of that institution to be introduced so that he could introduce, so that he could introduce the guest speaker of the event. So I wanted to assure you, all of us here, that I was informed that I need to take exactly 5 minutes. Otherwise, after this speech, I might get a warning letter. So I will not take time. So it is indeed a profound honor to welcome you to this celebratory dinner where we gather not only to dine, but to honor and celebrate a beacon of African storytelling, Dr. Mhlophe. Welcome to the 41st honorary degree awarded by DUT since its inception by the merger of the two technicons. I wanted to say that for those of you who are much closer to religion, and perhaps not so much closer, you will remember what the 41 or 41st mean. For those who are much closer to Christianity, will remember what the 40 days mean and the 41st mean. So the 41st really is associated with the new beginnings, or a change after a period of difficulty. And I really hope that this 41st honorary degree will represent the new beginning for DUT and South Africa as a whole. Those who have got the sharp mind and have solid memory, like Mr. Gumede, I saw you there, you will remember this very well, that 4 + 1 is 5. And of course, you will remember that in ancient history, these 5 represented the so-called Pentagon. And those of us who still remember the trigonometry, study of geometry of shape, will remember that this is closely attributed or associated with 5 equal sides. And it does represent human perfection. And this symbolism does resonate deeply with Dr. Mhlophe's journey and contribution, signifying a new chapter of excellence and impact. As far back as 15th century, institutions like Oxford University and many other universities recognized individuals who made monumental contributions to society. So this old age tradition really underscores today's celebration. I want to also emphasize that as we honor Dr. Mhlophe, we also celebrate the significant achievements of DUT And I just want to take a moment to reflect on these achievements. In 2022, DUT was relatively modest in global arena. And I'm saying modest in a true sense of it. However, by 2021, we have broken into the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. And we were therefore positioned within 401 to 500 range. And therefore, we were recognized as the top 5 universities in South Africa. And recently, the Young University Rankings ranked DUT in the range of 401 to 500 for the young universities worldwide. And I thought you should clap for this. So as I conclude, I know most of us will remember this, that South Africa is only 6% of the population holding the university degrees, only 6%. While another 6% have got diplomas, but shockingly, only just less than 4% possess technical and vocational education training certificates. While the country has these kind of challenges that no doubt will affect the performance of the economy and how we progress going forward. This year, DUT graduated, including higher certificates, 7,021 students across qualifications. 61 doctoral degrees, 131 masters. And what is important to mention here is that out of those 7,021 graduates, we also awarded 106 students with the Dean's Merit Award for academic excellence. Oh, and of course, graduating with cum laude. And additionally, 281 students graduated with cum laude. I think we can clap again. So as I conclude, I think you will remember a very famous African bird, southern ground hornbill. And in isiZulu it's called Intsikizo. Tsikizo. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And because I'm from the north, Dr. Nokugcine will know, it's called Dandila. Yes. And that bird is really known for its intelligence and collaboration. They work together to build strong nests. And they also, by the way, medicate themselves from the food they eat from natural feeds. And I therefore would like to reiterate that I strongly, and I think all of us, we should believe in the power of collaboration where great things could be achieved. So tonight, let's celebrate our collective efforts and look forward to building an even brighter future together. So thank you, Dr. Mhlophe, for your light and passion in inspiring us all. So welcome to you. Let us enjoy this memorable and enlightening evening. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Nemavola, for those wonderful opening remarks. Moving on with our program, in a few minutes' time, we'll hear from Dr. Mhlophe. I wonder if she's going to break into song and dance again. This is the stage to do it, Dr. Mhlophe. This is the stage to do it. I was very fortunate. I think 2018, Dr. Mhlophe and I both hosted the BRICS International Film Awards, if you remember that, and that was quite an honor. And she tried to break into song and dance for each category as well, and had to rein her in there. So this is the stage, Dr. Mhlophe. We look forward to seeing what you can deliver. To introduce Dr. Mhlophe, it's my privilege to welcome the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, People and Operations to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Vuyo Mthethwa.
The Chancellor, Ms. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, the Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Dr Nokugcine, the DUT Council members that are here, DUT staff, the guests of Dr. Mhlophe, donors, sponsors, and the media. All protocols observed. Sanibonani. I greet the spirit inside all of you this evening. And that is how Dr. Mhlophe would have started. And I'm sure she will when she comes on the podium. It is my absolute honor, indeed, Ma'am G, as I would want to call you tonight. I possess vitamin G, gratitude. I am absolutely grateful and truly humbled to have been asked to introduce our award-winning, creative, distinctive, and impactful. How appropriate is that? This is what DUT stands for. Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe, actress, umama wezinganekwane, storyteller, poet, singer, playwright, our multi-talented treasure of our African soil, who exudes in Ubuntu and unshakably pro our heritage, despite having traveled the world over. Umhlaba omkhulu, and coming from izwekazi le Africa, to you this evening. This morning, at the graduation ceremony, where Dr. Mhlophe was honored, we had the pleasure to learn and enjoy a glimpse of her talent and distinctive expertise. While we tried to draw much learning from her speech, as she used the analogy of the bumblebee in never being stopped by being small, but never being stopped by having small wings to fly. The hard work and the importance of discipline. We were entertained to her breakout song. I had planned to sing, but I think I'll embarrass myself. But it's good just to say, the song started by, I am tired of waiting. I'm also, I can't remember the word, I'm tired of waiting. I'm also tired of whining. And the moon is rising. I'm dreaming with my eyes open. Kusasa, hurry up, tomorrow Siyakuthanda, siyakubiza, the moon is rising. Just those words of that song was enough. If the students didn't get it, then they've missed it. Maybe they're not the students that we are hoping that in the future will bring much difference to our country. Mhlophe, Madlamini, hails from Hammersdale. We are here to honor her with having been honored this morning with a doctorate of philosophy degree in visual and performing arts. When the citation was read this morning, one could see we could be here forever. So I've selected just a few aspects of that citation. I will not spend much time in drawing all the detail of the citation, but you can imagine this powerhouse that we are here to honor this evening. Dr. Mhlophe's musical skill and talent has produced dozens of musical outputs, which have performed in Royal Albert, London. She is also, one of the things that I love in particular is the issues of izinganekwane, the storytelling. She talks about the storytelling is about a reflection of our history. If you continue to tell the stories, you will then understand how we got where we are in terms of the history of our country. She has been acclaimed for at least 14 national and international awards, Obie Award in New York, Pan-African Language Board Award, Advancing Indigenous Languages, Kennedy Center International Artist Gold Award, Namibian Children's Book Forum Literacy Award, Mzansi Magic Television National Icon Award, Multi-Choice Africa Legend Storyteller Award, the South African Children's Lucrative Award, Carl Lohan Award for Children's Books, and the list could go on in terms of all of these awards. She has also received 5 lifetime awards, the eThekwini Living Legends, the South African Film and Television Award, the Arts and Culture True Lifetime Achievement Award, Lifetime Achievement Award for Contribution to Traditional Arts by the Durban Playhouse Company, a Traditional Arts Festival, and so it goes on. Mr. Khan mentioned this morning that we are the 8th university that has recognized this powerhouse in Bogoto. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this juncture to request that you stand up. I thought that while I ask Dr. Mhlophe to come up, I want to read just one particular aspect, one poem that I chose amongst many that resonates with whom this woman is and what she stands for, her love for her country and her resilience and her commitment to the future, not just present, but to the future of our country. The poem reads, it's called Strengthen Love. Strengthen love, dear Africans. Strengthen love. Let it stand rock solid. Christmas means nothing if we do not love each other with no compassion for one another. Some go to bed with empty stomachs while others have everything. Countless children have lost their parents. Others swear at them. They hate them. How can we grow strong when the situation is like this? How will we grow and prosper? How can we be successful when we do not respect each other? Where will our blessings come from? Where are we headed? If we have no dedication or collaboration, we need to show each other love and humanity. Strengthen love, Dear Africans, love and harmony is what we need. Strength and love, dear Africans. Mam Gcina, Madlamini. Angikwazi ukukikiza. So I'm not even going to try. Engakusho, Tumbeza. Thank you.
Ngiyabonga. May you be seated, please. Sanibonani. Ninjani namhlanje? Mina ngiyaphila futhi ngijabulile. Not only am I well, I'm very happy. I'm honored, I am humbled, I am grateful, I am many things as I stand here. So thank you, DUT. It is just something so special. What a day when we count what is going to go into my autobiography one of these days. When we remember this day, it will be there. Wayenzani ngomhla ka-28 kuMay 2024. Wayese DUT. Ngokujazi elibomvu. Awu ake sibongeni. Ukwanda kwaliwa umthakathi. Madam Nyembezi, Professor Mthembu, DUT Council and Leadership, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Executive Deans of faculties and staff. Ngicela ukuthi nginibingelele ngokusemthethweni. Also special friends. I'd like to honor my family who made it here today. How Tumbeza. How Putaza, Baputaza izulu abanye belesaba. Ontombeze ndabonyezi. Ezabafakaza nezenda ngomnyama. Hey, yithi labo my beautiful sister, usis Beatrice, ukhona namhlanje umakhwekhwetha kaThisha. Bagcwele uThisha kaMhlophe, kaze uyibone into enje. On my mother's side, we've got my niece who's representing the family as Eastern Cape. Bokama, Oches, Omkhonto Bobo, Fudol Fagati, Oskananda. Yeah. People notice as soon as I arrive wearing this tortoise, my mother's presence is here. Ufudol Fagati. Ngibonga inhlanhla enkulu. The biggest thing for me here is not to really make a speech, but it is to say the things that I feel, the things that have guided me, the words of amazing people that have touched my life. I think when I look at the day I found this beautiful greeting card, I had lost my voice. I had arrived in New York. I don't know, between London and New York, I don't know what happened to my voice. Luckily, we had 2 days to get used to the Lincoln Center in an off-Broadway theater where we're going to be performing a play called Born in RSA. And my voice was gone, and all the others were free to go and do some sightseeing. So I was taken to the doctor. I didn't know you could be injected right here. And I was injected, and I was told to go back to the hotel and do Operation Lie Down. And I did. I lay down. And I'm not good at just doing nothing. So I thought, I can take a walk. Broadway is a long road. Many things to see. I wanted to familiarize myself. We were going to be in New York for a while, so I need to know what is around the hotel. And there's Tower Records over there. You remember Tower Records? When we used to buy LPs. And the different places I saw, I orientated myself. And then on my way back, this person says, have you seen that bookshop? Like Uyangas. I mean, if you want me to get broke, put me in a bookshop. So I walk into a bookshop, and I don't know why, he doesn't know me. And many people overseas, they don't greet even. But he indicates that there's a bookshop. So I walk into the bookshop, I go downstairs, and I buy books, of course, typical me. And then I see a greeting card with 3 purple women dancing up a storm. And on those women, there's writing on something like a poem. It doesn't say whose poem it is. And I read it, I think I like it. I buy it as well. Go back to the hotel. I rest a little bit and I read it again. And then before I fall asleep, I read it again. By the time I came back to South Africa, I had this poem bigified, you know, it was a big thing when they had that color photocopy. It was a new thing. La Xerox at Bramfontein. Let's do some white people's witchcraft. Let's bigify this thing. And I framed it and I put it on the wall. And so I thought it was for me alone. You have no idea since 1986 how many times I've shared this poem that I found in a bookshop in New York when I'd lost my voice. When the enthusiastic story of our time is told for those who are yet to be born, but announce themselves with more generous face, will come out ahead, those who've suffered most from these times. But that, being still ahead of our time, means much more suffering. But then it is beautiful to see the world with eyes that have not yet been born, and splendid to know yourself victorious when all around you it's so cold and so dark. That was 1986. I didn't know who wrote that poem. It took me years to find out. I read this poem, or I shared it at another writer's event, and these two women who were dressed like twins were talking. And then they raised their hands. We know who wrote that poem. It was Pablo Neruda from Chile. Pablo Neruda. Amazing. One of my favorite poets, by the way. I love the way he writes. And now, if you were alive and grown up in 1986, you know for a fact it was like the darkest hour before dawn for us, South Africans. Things were bad. And we were shouting in the street, freedom in our lifetime! Freedom in our lifetime! We didn't know if we were going to make it past Saturday. If you made it on Saturday, you buried some of your comrades. If you were not shot at that funeral, you went to the next funeral. And then if you were not shot at that funeral, you went to the next one. We kept on shouting freedom in our lifetime, but some of us were lucky. We made it. We could vote. We could say it's a new South Africa. We could do all kinds of things that we were not allowed, but then other infectious diseases came in as well. Now it's 2024, on the eve of a very difficult election tomorrow. We are nervous. From the head to toe, we do not know what's going to happen in our country. We not only want to believe that there's enough people in this land who want good. We want to believe that there's enough centers of learning, the hearth, the fireplace where they cook great minds, that there are enough young people, particularly young people, who will make a difference. Because we who are in the late afternoon of our lives, we can make some decisions, but the young people are the ones we worry about, are the ones we should care about, the ones we should be guiding, the ones we'll be showing love. When we say strength and love, it must be particularly for them. And this thing called hope is something that I see as a light that shines inside each and every one of us. Now, you look at, remember we've done Chile. Why don't we just hop over to Nigeria? It's okay. There's another author. And he says these words, and I love it when he says it. He says, a nation is as weak or as powerful as the stories they choose to tell to themselves or to one another. Does anybody speak isiXhosa? You know that word? If a nation is betje, think of what stories they will choose to tell to themselves or to one another. Let's not be betje, please. Let's choose stories that are going to inspire us to do better, to grow, to nourish, to really, really make a difference in our country and our continent, Because I got news for you. South Africa is part and parcel of izwekazi le Africa, the continent. Let's catch a wake up. We are part of the continent. That is Ben Okri, an author from Nigeria. Maybe we come home. What do you think? Let's come home. Another person I love so much. I wish I could have met her. By the time she passed away in the village of Sirowe in Botswana, I was hoping so much, just beating my time. When am I going to Botswana? When am I going? And then she passed away. Uyazi, there are different questions you get asked. When people look at you and they think you know things, we get to be interviewed. And journalists ask you the most difficult questions. You think, in 1995, after my first ever honorary doctorate in London, in fact, I delivered my whole speech in isiZulu. And the British people being polite, they sat still and listened to my whole speech. Silence. And then I said, you didn't understand a word. I said, did you? And then they erupted and they started laughing. And I had to translate my speech for them. And anyway, they were asking me, the journalist, and said, what do you think Mandela's next move will be? I mean, does he even have my number? Is he going to tell me what his next move is? But Bessie Head was interviewed in Botswana by some foreign journalist in 1972. I was quite a donor cop in those days. I'm so glad nobody asked me that question. But here's the question. How do you think the revolution will come one day in South Africa? What would you have said? She said, it is impossible to guess how the revolution will come one day in South Africa. But in a world where all ordinary people are fighting for their rights, it is inevitable. It is also to be hoped that great leaders will arise there who will remember many years of human suffering, and out of that formulate new laws to treat everybody with common dignity and respect. It is also to be hoped that someday Southern Africa will become the home of the storyteller and dreamer who did not hurt others but only introduced new dreams that fill the heart with wonder, new dreams that fill the heart with wonder, new dreams that fill the heart with wonder. That's Bessie Head talking. I know DUT is working hard day and night, year after year, to make sure that stories are told by and about young people, about their parents, about their communities, about the journeys they are making, to make sure that what we are doing will fill the heart with wonder. Because South Africa needs that more than ever before. Today, more than we ever needed it. But if we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. If we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. Sure do need him now. We sure do need him now. If we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. If we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. We need the Lord. uThixo wabazali bethu, uThixo wokhokho bethu, Modimo onkgono ba rona, uNkulunkulu umvelinqangi, usomandla, usobulungisa, inzulu yemfihlakalo, inzulu yesimanga. Let's pray for our young people. Let's pray for our country, because we love South Africa. This is the only motherland we have. I don't know if you have got 3-4 passports to run away to another country, but we are praying for our own South Africa, Ningizimu Africa, Azania yetu, ma Africa mahle asakheni.
Madam Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe. Wow. It's really tough following such a powerful speaker. So I'm just going to go home and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. As Dr. Mhlophe was speaking, it reminded me about another great poet and writer and activist, Dr. Mhlophe, Maya Angelou, who said, people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but people will always remember how you made them feel. And you, Dr. Mhlophe, make us feel. And we will always remember how you make us feel. May you be blessed with long life and good health. I'm going to ask you to get back onto the dance floor this time, because the stage, you've conquered the graduation stage, you've conquered the dinner stage. We're not going to ask you to dance just yet, but I'm going to ask you and Madam Chancellor, we have a gift to hand over to you. So I'm just going to jump off stage to get the gift. Give me a sec. Thank you to our Chancellor, Ms. Nonkululeko Nyembezi, and to Dr. Mhlophe. We had to do our research, Dr. Mhlophe, to get you the gift. And we are told you're going to love it. We had a huge amount of research effort that went into sourcing the gift and presenting it to you by virtue of our Chancellor. So we hope you really enjoy it. I know many people here are dying to see what's in it, but maybe take it home and... No, it's not going TikTok, don't worry. You're listening to it. It's something you're going to love. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my honor to invite Professor Thandwa Mthembu, our Vice Chancellor and Principal, just to deliver a few remarks. So please put your hands together for the leader of the Durban University of Technology, Professor Thandwa Mthembu.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Mr. Khan. Sure, it's quite a huge task to say anything after Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, who has just demonstrated erudition, sophistication. What can I say? As a mere mathematician who doesn't know much about poetry, of Neruda, books by Ben Okri, Bessie Head, all in just a very short space of time. So what can I say? Thank you very much for educating us. In fact, those of us who have read a little bit of our State of the University address might remember that it calls for a number of people that we do not consider to be academic. Actually, in the State of the University address, I refer to academic entrepreneurs. I think we should also refer to academic artists. She talked about New York And earlier in the day, she talked about many other places she has been to where she has had residency for 3 months, 6 months. Have we had that here at DUT with her? Where is the dean? Or where is the head of department of drama? Well, our dean, Professor Batson, is relatively new. So the idea behind what I call in the State of the University Address academic entrepreneurs is simply about people who are out there in industry and how we could bring them to the university so that we could learn more. And I think she has just demonstrated in a very short space of time the wealth of knowledge she possesses that needs to be shared with our young people. It so happens that the graduation today was the graduation of young people in the arts, in drama, and so forth, and she really demonstrated being an artist. Mr. Khan referred earlier to the predicament we found ourselves in. Me just having had to give a speech about not expecting our graduates to give us any drama. But Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe is Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, and I think they would have understood. In fact, I think everybody would have been disappointed if she didn't do anything that so many of us know her for. The spontaneity about her art that she shares and just shared even earlier, shared during the graduation, shared here. And that's what we like about her. And we would have been disappointed, as I'm saying, if we hadn't had a taste of that. But again, Deputy Vice Chancellors, everybody at the university, we need to think about those who we may not consider part of the university, and especially as a university of technology, a university that should be focusing on not just technology as technology, but churning out young people there who can almost immediately participate in the economy through the skills, through the high-level knowledge they gain from the university. That's who we are. That's why we don't necessarily have a qualification called just a BSc in maths and applied mathematics. We don't have that simply because what will then a maths graduate go out to do? Of course, we are changing things a little bit more, but all I'm saying is that in a university of technology, we ought to have a number of people like Dr. Mhlophe who will help to impart skills on the practical situations and environment that they know much better about, rather than us having so many of our academics who may never have seen the world of work outside academia, like myself. Since I was 18, I was in a university. I never left the university door, which means in terms of industry outside the university, I don't know much. But then we think we are churning out young people who should go out there and participate productively. So I'm hoping that this honorary doctorate should also mean, dear Professor Batson and colleagues, that this new graduate of DUT who has a wealth of knowledge, we will find ways of getting that knowledge imparted to many of our young people who need to use it as they finish their programs with us. It's really been wonderful, and maybe last thing I should say, Professor Nemabola talked about this bird, Intsengis or Ingududu, in another. There was a song you will remember, and I would like to invite you for us to sing that song. I'm testing you now. Yakhala ingududu madoda, izulu liyadudu, umakuza thina. Kelema. Thank you very much. Let's enjoy the evening.
Siyabonga Mvelas. If you want to see Professor Mdembus do an entire set, talk to me. I'm going to be his new manager. We'll work on a few songs. Dr. Mhlophe will assist us. That'll be really great. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, there's excellence in every corner at our university. Today we saw our adaptive graduates, not just on this occasion, but over the last 2.5 weeks. I'm going to give you a chance to see how we nurture them, the talent that we have, and why we are creative, distinctive, and impactful. We have a group of students from the second-year drama program. Dr. Mhlophe, they have worked on this especially for you, and because you are here, we get to benefit and enjoy. So please give them a round of applause. I heard them earlier on in the sound check, and they were phenomenal. My thanks to Vukile, who will be providing the music. But here's DUT talent on stage, our 8 students, second-year drama from the Durban University of Technology. They're going to kick us off with the first of 4 songs in honor of Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe.
I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me.
Oh, darling,
Stand by me, stand by me. Stand by me, shosholoza kulezo ndaba simela kume South Africa. Shosholoza kulezo ndaba simela kume South Africa. Wenu yabaleka kulezo ndaba simela kume South Africa. Wenu yabaleka kulezo ndaba simela kume South Africa. Shosholoza kulezo ndaba simela kume South Africa. South Africa. Shosholoza sizobabamba ayiwe babe. Shosholoza sizobabamba ayiwe babe. Shosholoza sizobabamba ayiwe babe. Shosholoza sizobabamba ayiwe babe. Obujozino
Usistimela, stimela sasemsawawa.
obujozino
Usistimela, stimela sasemsawawa.
obujozino
Usistimela, stimela sasemsawawa.
obujozino
Usistimela, stimela sasemsawawa.
obujozino
Usistimela,
simela sasemsawawa. Obujozino
usistimela, stimela sasemsawawa. Shosholoza,
sizobabamba
wemabe. Ngiyolale mabaleni, indaba zisematheni. Ngisike ngisemoyeni, ngikhuza umsindo emagcekeni. Ngoba bangizwisa ubuhlungu ekhaya.
ngiseleleni.
Ngoba bangizwisa ubuhlungu ekhaya.
Ngisendleleni, 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 lapho usizo luvela khona. Ngisendleleni, sisendleleni lapho sizoluvela khona. Dr Nokugcine sibonga imfundiso zakho mawethu. Ngibonga nje nethuba lokuthi ngime la phambili. Ngiculele indlovukazi eyangifundisayo ngembhalo yakhe. Ngiyafisa ukuthi ekuqhubekeni kwethu nale ngoma nisilekelele kuyiculeni simculele uDr E Mhlophe.
Yeah. Mhlophe. Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe. Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe. Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe.
Dr. Mhlophe, I told you that was especially for you and for the benefit of us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our second-year drama students a round of applause. All I'm saying, students, is when you graduate in a year or two, do not perform like that on the graduation stage, please. Wow, I did tell you, right? I warned you. Excellence at every corner at DUT. Let's also give our musicians, Vukile, a round of applause. Thank you, Vukile. Wow, talented guys. Dr. Mhlophe, as the words of one of the songs said, your future is bright because of your ancestors, so give thanks, and we give thanks to you. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the closing remarks, it is my honor to ask our registrar of the Durban University of Technology to come up to the podium for the vote of thanks. Please put your hands together for Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe. And he can also sing and dance, so be prepared. I don't know, the Vice-Chancellor could do it. Registrar, you're going to have to follow in his footsteps.
Thank you, Mr. Khan, for quite a generous introduction. The conflict or contradiction of the item I'm just about to service is that, one, I am standing between you and your supper. And you may not be as attentive as you should be. But the nice thing about it is that after I've spoken, no one is going to speak. Therefore, I can say anything I want. Program Director, Chair of Council in absentia, and members of Council in attendance, our Chancellor, Nonkululeko Nyembezi, Vice-Chancellor and Deputy Vice-Chancellors, members of Senate in attendance, members of Executive Management Committee present, members of Convocation and Convex, members of the Institutional Forum here present, and the SRC, our donors, business partners, and friends of our great university. Last but not least, our guest of honor, Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe, and your nuclear and extended family in attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, as they say, all protocol observed. Now that you've all been protocoled as I observe you, allow me to prefix my vote of thanks with the following public declaration for the media in attendance, but also to give assurance to our guest of honor that Durban University of Technology is a registered public university established by an Act of Parliament, governed by an independent council, and of course established in accordance with the Higher Education Act as amended, and our recently approved revised statute. Now, with the proliferation of fake honorary degrees, some of which are dished out, not even conferred, if one knows what conferment means, but are dished out to recipients in the comfort of their living rooms and sometimes sick beds by bogus institutions and churches at a cost of 20 to 50K. I can assure you, our recipient, that ours is very legit and has been conferred in line with our policy and procedure on honorary awards at the Honorary Awards Committee meeting held on the 3rd of October in 2023 and approved by both Senate and Council at their November meetings 2023, with minutes available upon request. And I can assure you that all participants in these layers of our committee structure took the decision under high level of sobriety. This joint approval paved the way for the public conferment in broad daylight as we ushered you with our academic processional song, Ihele, a melodious composition by Pelelani Mnomia from Claremont. Though difficult, with a number of quarter notes and chromatics. And no wonder we retain this song as our main academic processional song. As I chatted with you outside, I told you that duty continues to be captured by Claremont. Our Chancellor is from Claremont. Our Chair of Council is from Claremont. Our DVC P&O is from Claremont. And I'm also told that Claremont is behind me. We eventually ushered you off stage with our recessional song. When we go off stage, it's no longer procession, it's recession in reverse. So we ushered you with our recessional song, Kaudia Musi Gitu, whose origin can be traced to a 1287 Latin manuscript. The song is in tradition of Carpe Diem with exhortations to enjoy life. Our graduation traditions remains steeped in Latin tradition since the establishment of the first university in the year 1088 in Italy, the University of Bologna, which explains why our qualifications have a Latin version, such as Philosophiae Doctor, for Doctor of Philosophy. May I therefore thank you all for gracing this our 2024 doctorand dinner, which is a special day on the calendar of this great university. Special word of thanks goes to our Chancellor for gracing this occasion with the dignity of your office and the wisdom of your intellect. And Dr. Mhlophe for accepting our honor and joining a respectable group of 40 honorary convocants, you being the 41st. We look forward to your continued association with our great 20-year-old university. Program Director, I hold my peace. Thank you. Bon appetit.
He speaks with such intelligence, insight, and elegance. Our registrar, Dr. Nokugcine. So, I'm just going to burst your bubble slightly. The registrar was not incorrect. There are no speakers after him. He did not say there are no singers after him. Now, Dr. Mhlophe, once again, specifically requested to have Vukile on stage. And I know this was also one of her requests. So we are going to indulge her. Fresh off the plane from Johannesburg and made it this evening, Zawadi Yamungu is going to be joining us on stage with the band. And Zawadi, they're going to give us 2 songs. And after that, the registrar will get his wish. We can all adjourn for dinner, and Vukile will continue the celebrations. As Dr. Mhlophe mentioned on stage this morning, Lady Luck never visits lazy bones. I will always remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a big round of applause to Dr. Nokugcine Mhlophe. Congratulations and welcome to the DUT family. And let's welcome on stage Zawadi Yamungu together with Vukile.
Now, this is a song of our goddess, our queen, our African queen. The song has the suffix of K-A-Z-I. Let me explain this a little bit. The K-A-Z-I of female name, if I can call it like that, there is a suffix of kazi, which is kuyisikhuliso than isinciphiso. So when we say kazi, it means big and bigger. So there is indodakazi, whereas there is indodana for male. And there is inkosikazi, and there is indoda. And then there is salukazi, makhona umkhulu. So for women, it's always huge and big and exaggerated because we are big and sinolwazi. Kuthiwa okuhlula amadoda kuyabikwa, but kubikwa kobani? Kumakhosikazi, indlovukazi, our African queens, our goddesses. And that's why we are here today celebrating our own mother, Africa motherland, African queen, Khawekazi, Indlovukazi, inamandla. Okay, let's go. Uwe, 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 watu nomkhubulwane imvula iyanetha watu nomkhubulwane oh ngiyindodakazi engunkosikazi indlovukazi eyoba yisalukazi ekukho konke ngiyiqhawekazi ongiyiqhawekazi ongiyiqhawekazi Tina sianzala Tina botina Oh Tina sianzala Oh Tina botina Itini ndalabantu Oh Tina botina Nibahle Okwemibala yothingo lwenkosazana umami wati unomkhubulwane imithandazo yasendabeni umancela imvula iyanetha uthingo olwenkosazana umami wati unomkhubulwane bomathandazo machaphazele aqale izulu linethe. We're going. Umakhoyana lo nguphe. Mawubona inwele zami zingome ngoba zinhle. Mawubona inwele zami zingome ngoba zinhle. Mawubona ibala lami lingome ngoba lihle. Mawubona ibala lami lingome ngoba lihle. Ibala lami lihle. Amabele ami mahle ifika enhle isinqe sami sihle ukuhamba kwami kuhle isitho sami sihle ibala la lihle mina nginsundo futhi ngimuhle ngaze ngamuhle mawubona inwele zami zincome ngoba zinhle saze sabahle we are beautiful mawubona ibala lami lincome ngoba lihle okay sho ibala lam linjani amabele ami anjani mahle okay ifika yami injani inhle oh umkhaba wami unjani muhle bathi isinqe sami sinjani sihle okay lesishwapha sami sihle oh upetelo wami luhle ay igwegwe lami lihle ayibo bathi imqondo yami injani mihle ayibo nesitho sami sihle bathi iqhomo zami ke zinhle ay amehlo ami wo mahle okay mina ngimuhle 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 nje ngimuhle nginjena mina ngidalwa nginjena nje ngimuhle 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 ibala lami lihle imqondo yami mihle isitho sami sihle bathi ukuhamba kwami kuhle isishwapha sami mabele ami ibala lami inwele zami ukuhleka kwami amehlo ami ibala lami inwele zami ngimuhlehle 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 ibala lami amabele ami mahle idut injani enhle woo bathu Dr Nokugcine E Mhlophe unjani muhle oh saze sabahle thank you so much
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the roof down for Zawadi ya Mungu. Goodness. You can see why Dr Nokugcine E Mhlophe said we have to have Zawadi ya Mungu. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to close the formalities. Dinner is about to be served. The Honorary Consul of Indonesia has taken a selfie with Dr. Mhlophe. I see the VC, Zawadi, and also the beautiful Lindiwe Rakarebe, the CEO of the ICC Durban, who's with us this evening. Thank you so much. My thanks to all our speakers, to our entertainers. Vugile will be back on stage whilst we're eating. My thanks to our second-year students from DUT for entertaining us, to Zawadi Yamungu. I want to end off in the words, and when I quote Dr. Nokugcine E Mhlophe, when she says, "Stories are our friends, our counselors, and our teachers. They are a means of nurturing a moral culture in the hearts and minds of people. They stir the imagination, they bring together people, and they break down barriers. It is a tradition we must never lose in the rush to the cities." In the words of Nokugcine E Mhlophe, a great storyteller, a great playwright, a great activist, and a great South African. Thank you, Mama Mhlophe, for allowing us to celebrate you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance. Thank you for supporting the Durban University of Technology. I am pleased to say, Registrar, dinner is now served.